Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And right now we're seeing what we can see right here. We're getting a lot of mixture, aren't we? Of like good news and bad news. We got for good news for DeFi with Uniswap. The SEC is dismissing the challenge that the previous administration put forward to them. Coinbase as well. But then we're getting these hacks and we're getting news of manipulation in the market. And we're getting, like, obviously the stock markets are starting to get fearful because of these tariffs have come about, where they thought, well, a few weeks back, they thought that something was going to get sorted with Mexico and Canada, and Donald Trump's come out and says, no, it's full steam ahead. And obviously this has pulled back a lot of the stock markets and also bringing back a lot of the crypto market as well. But look, you know, this is investing at the end of the day. When you invest money, there's risk to it, risk to the downside, but also there could be gains as well. And when there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and blood on the streets, is this an opportunity where you start to buy, or are we going to go further down? Because what we can see right now is today is a big day as well. We've got the video coming out. This is going to be a market mover, not just for AI and the stocks, but also for crypto as well. So if these results don't come out, the earnings don't come out in favor of what the market expects, then obviously we're going to get a bit of a pullback again, potentially tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, they're coming out of the earnings at the end of the US trading session. So that's something to watch out for today. I'll be watching out that when market closes in the US, because obviously I own a lot of stocks as well as I own a lot of crypto too. So it's very important to me what actually happens on this. So keep an eye on what's actually happening on the video. That is going to be very important, because right now what we can see is there's a lot of fear. We're at 26 right now. But like I said, this could be an opportunity. When you invest money, you're investing risk. But if you've only got to put money in willing to lose, but that money you've got in there actually turns to the upside, or you DCA now into some cryptos, which I have just done because I had some liquidity left on the side. I've started to DCA a bit with the understanding that we could come back down. And I'll get into why I think Bitcoin could come back down. And obviously that could really, really drag the altcoins even further, maybe even down to the bear market lows. But nothing's, you know, at the end of the day, what I say on here might not end up happening. We might today just absolutely go to Valhalla, go to all-time highs. We just don't know. It's just probabilities. That's all it is. So just bear that one in mind. But we can see here, we're below fear of where we were in August of 2024. We're where we were at based at around about 35. We're sitting at 26. Fear is really, really settling in right now. And like I said before, there's a lot of manipulation happening in the markets right now. And we can see this by Vincent here from Cryptolution. Crypto market manipulation isn't just about the price or the market cap. It's about controlling your mind. It's called misdirection. And its goal is to drown you in fear and uncertainty. And that's why you get a lot of people getting scared out the market, because all you're hearing is bad news after bad news of people on X and whatever. It plays in your mind. It's psychology. YouTubers, ex-leverage traders will scream that they're heading lower. Target 70,000. Playing right into the hands of Binance and market makers like Wintermute, who's a market maker. Even hedge funds like BlackRock will move small amounts of Bitcoin, Ethereum to Coinbase, baiting the media into pushing the false liquid narrative, or to distract you from what really is coming for Bitcoin strategic reserve. This is what I mean. For me personally, I've been in this market a long, long time in terms of the crypto and traditional markets, and I've read a lot of psychological books. I actually, when I trade and invest, I trade with no emotion. I don't trade with any kind of emotion at all. I've learned that. I've learned that over the years. Trade like a shark, invest like a shark, no emotion. One of my favorite characters, actually, sounds really stupid, this might sound, but Dr. Spock, if you remember Dr. Spock from Star Trek, he was very emotional, non-emotional, should I say. It was how it is, straight down the line. That was it. There's no being sad or happy. It was just straight down the line. And that's how I learned to trade, like a shark, or follow what Dr. Spock did. That's how I trade. And like I said, it's worked for me. And like I said, right now, this emotional stuff doesn't bother me. I'm seeing the price drop down to a level I like. I'm buying a little bit more. And okay, if it comes down a bit more, I'll buy a little bit more. But if you haven't got any money and you're in a position where you're stuck, you just sit on your hands. That's all you do. It's simple as. Just go out there, enjoy yourself, come back in a week's time or a couple of months' time. and see what's happened from that point of view. That's only if, like, you put money in, you say, all right, I could potentially lose this, but I'm taking that gamble. Sod it, I'm going to take that gamble. But anyway, so the bullish sentiment for Bitcoin has completely collapsed. A reset of sentiment with crypto fear and greed index hitting extreme fear today. The color of the line is getting closer to the turning blue. Generally, this is when accumulation turns blue. Is sit on your hands. Trim when it's yellow. 200 moving average still in play for max capitulation. So just bear that one in mind as well. And also, Quinton says here, Bitcoin flushed down with global liquidity 3-month lag. Next up is global liquidity spike. Rate cuts, QE, Bitcoin exploding. I think QE is probably could well come around about June, July time. That's what I think. And that's all subject to what happens with the economy. If it starts to weaken, I think that's when the Federal Reserve may well start to turn to QE. But I think that's not going to happen in the next session. I think this could be June or July time, I feel. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm thinking right now. Because we could look at the Dan said here, Dan Gabriel from Crypto Recruiter. Follow Dan. I've followed Dan for many, many, many years. Since 2018, I've been following Dan. Great YouTuber. Great analysis. I love the work that he's doing. Give him a follow. And if you give him a follow, just let him know that Dr. Crypto's sort of like, pass your name on. So anyway, the SEC drops cases against Uniswap. So all last month, SEC drops cases against Coinbase, Robinhood, Binance, OpenSea, and Uniswap. This is absolutely super bullish. Like I said, you're getting a lot of negative news regarding hacks and liquidations, but also you're getting positive news coming out as well. So Michael Saylor, this is what I really find really interesting, actually, was Michael Saylor just shared the digital asset framework presented to the SEC last week, pushing for 590 trillion crypto market. He's only mentioned Bitcoin 4 times and emphasized expanding digital assets beyond Bitcoin from 1 trillion to 590 trillion, with the US leading the charge. We are early. And do you know something? Michael Saylor comes across as a Bitcoin maxi. But what I'm seeing here is that he's starting to turn and say digital assets as well. Not just Bitcoin, digital assets. So that, in my opinion, is bullishness to me, personally, because all he's ever gone on about is Bitcoin and that's it. And his stance is slightly changing. And this is where it says here, the 5 opportunities to establish United States of global digital leaders. So you can see here, and you can read that, and that's what gives you that information there. In that. But looking at Bitcoin at the moment, looking at charts at the moment, what I can actually see is this was back in August of 2024, where we had that massive move down to the downside. And this yellow line here right now is that 50 moving average. And we hit that. And that's where we saw the fear, which we saw back here, went to around about 35. And we're sitting right now at 26. And we have not even potentially gone down to this area, this 50-day moving average, which I said is a possibility that we could go to. Why is that? It's because if we go to the CME futures right now, and they see this orange circle here, that CME future gap right there could well get filled. Now, if that gets filled, we will come back down to around about that $75,000. That is a potential. It's a probability. It doesn't mean that is going to happen, but it's a probability that it could do. There's a probability it might not do. But you just got to bear that in mind. And now, if that happens, then obviously we're going to see a lot of altcoins actually really start to suffer even more so, and even go down to the bear market low. So you just want to bear that one in mind. But what I want to see is, I want to see Bitcoin go up, but Bitcoin dominance go down, and the alts start to fly, or Bitcoin go sideways and dominance starts to fly. As we can see here, Bitcoin dominance right now went again up to about 62%, and now it's dropping back down again, and we're now sitting at 61%. Now, obviously, there's a lot of volatility coming in, but what we want to see is obviously Bitcoin goes sideways, dominance drops down. But I do think like the altcoins are really, really going to start to shine if we get that QE, quantitative easing, because it's quantitative tightening. They're reducing the balance sheet at the moment, but we don't want that to happen. We want them to turn into QE, in my opinion. And also, we want the stock markets to keep going up, because right now the stock markets are very in a predicament where they're watching out for obviously what's happened with Donald Trump in terms of tariffs. So obviously that's what's happening. But let's have a look at CRO at the moment. CRO, just like a lot of the altcoins, is absolutely been destroyed. All destroyed from that 23 cents up there. And actually, we've just absolutely capitulated down. And we're sitting at around 0.076 at the moment. Now, like I said, Bitcoin drops down, we could drop down even further. So you just got to bear that one in mind. Now, you know, everybody's in a very financial different situation. Some people bought up here. Some people bought here. Some people are buying DCA in here. And we could drop down a bit further. For me personally, I bought down in the bear market low. So I'm still in the green at the moment. But like I said, I have bought a bit around here, where we were sort of above 0.10. But actually what we are now is we've dropped down even further. And I have bought a little bit more as well. So there is a scope that we could come back down because the money flow also coming out as well. So we just got to get, because there's a lot of fear in people, a lot of people are selling. So we just got to bear that one in mind as well. But overall, Crypto.com, the Cronos chain, I am super bullish on. I really am. It's just the CRO token at the moment. But at the moment, all altcoins have absolutely capitulated down to the downside. It's not just CRO. There's a lot of altcoins out there that have done that. But just zoom out and just do what you need to do. Do your own research. Have a plan. If you feel like you want to buy the dip now, but with the risk that we could drop down even further, that's your decision. Nothing I say need financial advice, by the way. So you do what you need to do. But one coin at the moment, which I feel like is acting quite strong, it's quite low down in market cap, and that's Say. And I've been starting to buy it. When we drop down to these levels here, I did start to DCA in to a bit of Say because it's holding up quite strong at the moment, in my opinion. And Say is a coin that I think if it's holding on strong right now and it's bouncing, every time there's an opportunity to bounce, it will bounce up. But then it does come back down, but it's bouncing up. And right now we're staying above that 20 EMA, trying to build sales up to that 50 EMA. Say is acting quite strong. We've got money flow that's been coming out, but it's starting to curve you towards the upside. So like I said, I'm watching Say very closely because Josh on here also says Say is a top layer one chain because finalized blocks at 400 ms, sustains 22,000 orders per second, maintains the lowest average TX fee, ranked 1 by TVL growth in 2024, highest TX success rate, got unique meme also, and also this has been down without any network outage or downtime. I think this is a coin that my personal point is, it's acting quite strong now. What happens when altcoins start to change towards the upside? Is this going to be one of those coins that absolutely gigapumps towards the upside and get to that $1, get to $2, $3, $4, and even could get to $5 in this bull market? Because we are in this bull market, in my opinion. None of the indicators at the moment are showing that we're topping out. But just before I leave this video right now, I don't really feel like we have peaked out. A lot of people on there are saying the bull market is over. And when you look at all these indicators, the Pi cycle top indicator, pure and multiple, days of ETF net outflows, and you look at all of this combined, the bull market's not over. That's what my personal opinion is. Look at all the fundamentals. Look at all these indicators here. That is showing you, none of these are showing you that the bull cycle is over. Don't forget, Bitcoin has big pullbacks. And unfortunately, a lot of the altcoins have pulled back a lot harder. This is the cycle. That's what happens in cycles. I've done it in previous videos where I've showed you these 20, 30, 40% dips. This is what we've been having. And this is what's happening right now. This bull market, in my opinion, is not over unless something really does break. But at the moment, none of these indicators are showing to me that this is over. Absolutely not at all. But there again, at the end of the day, you've got to do your own research. In my opinion, do your own research. Don't listen to me what I say. Just do your own thing. But none of these indicators show me that the bull market is over. Give us a like and give us a subscribe, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.